Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us on our webinar. Tonight, we're going to be discussing leadership success. Why are some people successful? How can you achieve success and be the envy to those around you? Learning the tactics to achieve the success you want. The question is always asked, why are some people more successful than others? And why haven't you achieved the success that you want in your life? These questions have been asked by intelligent men and women for over 2,500 years. Well, what if you knew the keys to success? And what if you had those success keys and implemented them in your life? How would your life change? This life-altering workshop will teach you how to achieve the success you want in your life, learn proven keys successful people do every day, and how to implement those keys into your life today. Steve has worked with new individuals to transfer lives to achieve the success they wanted. Learn how to use the keys successfully that many successful people use every day. How to understand the importance of self-concept, overcome the habit pattern, and so much more. Steve Feld is a coach, author, professional speaker, and an award-winning business management executive with over 30 years of extensive senior level experience in highly competitive industries. An expert in all aspects of change management, operations, business development, marketing, sales, HR, customer service, leadership, and finance. Steve has just got a passion for everything business. He has created and owned high six-figure businesses and operated others. Operate divisions for brand name Fortune 500 companies. So you are in great hands. I am absolutely over the moon to present Steve Feld.
Now, have you ever wondered why some people are more successful than others? The answer to this question has been sought for more than 2,500 years by some of the smartest and most insightful men and women of every civilization. And in the last 100 years, countless millions of dollars and thousands of hours have been invested in searching for the answer to this question. Thousands of books and articles have been written on the subject, and I'm sure if you're like me, you probably have a few in your own collection. Well, the good news is that today we know more about how to achieve success, happiness, and prosperity in more areas than we've ever known before. In fact, just Google it. Success is predictable for you in many areas of life that you believe are important. Do you want to achieve success? Reach your maximum performance? Live the life that you want to live? So today I'm going to highlight the key ideas and principles that have been discovered by successful people throughout the ages. Then you can apply these principles to your life and begin to get the results that you dream about. Then I'm going to go into the why we think and feel determines our attitudes, our expectations, our values, and our behaviors. You need to understand clearly why you learn to think and feel the way you do. With that understanding comes the ability to change. And then finally, I'm going to describe the ways you can change your thoughts and how those thoughts affect you and why you're not achieving the success you want in life. You've probably heard that the average person only uses about 10% of their potential for success and achievement. I mean, wow, 10%. Can you imagine if we use 20 or even 30% of our potential? What difference would that make in our lives? Our income, our success, our contribution to others, our contributions to the world and society itself. The sad reality is that the average person only uses about 2% of their potential. And that's according to Stanford University. But heck, what does that school know? Their mascot is a tree. That means that 98% of our potential is unfulfilled. Let's think about that for a moment. How much time do you spend watching TV, playing video games, hanging out in the bars, messing around on social media? If it sounds like you, go ahead and raise your hands, because I want to hang out with you and see what that feels like. We can change at any time and unlock our true inner potential. The only real limits on what we truly accomplish are the limits we place all up here in our own mind. How many of us felt stopped by nothing but our mind that was actually stopping us. Sad but true. Remember when you were younger and your parents and teachers and counselors and relatives and friends and on asked, what do you want to do with your life? Now, if you're over 25 and living in your parents' basement, I'm going to ask you personally, what do you really want to do with your life? Now, you can achieve almost anything you want in life if you first determine what you really want. And second, find out how other people who have achieved success and happiness in that area and do the same things. So Forrest Gump said, life is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get, but life is more like a combination lock, but only with more numbers. Now, if you have the right numbers in the right sequence, anybody can open up that combination lock. So here are 7 simple factors that successful people do, and you can implement today to become more successful. First of all, peace of mind. Your ability to achieve your happiness, the peace of mind, is your true measure of how well you're doing in life. Happy people don't go on shooting sprees. They feel happy, content with themselves, no matter what's going on around them. 2, be healthy. This means that you have a high level of health, energy, and physical well-being. You want to be as healthy as possible, free of pain, full of energy to do all the things that you possibly can do in life. 3, happy relationships, and that's with other people. If you have problems in your relationships, they will immediately have a negative impact on your health and on your well-being. If you have negative friends that are bumming you out, then ask them not to be so negative around you because it's just not healthy. That's just the way they are. If that's the way they are, then just get rid of them. They're really not a true friend. I don't know how many people I've stopped following or unfriended on Facebook or any other social media platforms because of their negative comments. And I'll tell you what, my life is so much better for it. 4, meaningful work. We all want and need to be doing work or something else that's fulfilling, challenging, and what interests us and brings out the very best possibilities in us. How many of you have a friend that constantly complains about their mundane job? After my presentation, do me a favor and do them a favor. Call them up. Tell them to get another job and stop their complaining. If it's you that are doing this, then stop it, get another job that interests you and brings you satisfaction. 5, financial independence. Okay. This one usually gets most of the attention. How many of you want financial independency, which means the ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want, without ever worrying about money? That's true financial independence. If you want to take a trip overseas, then just book it and do it, and you don't have to worry about the cost or even how you're going to pay for it. But unfortunately, if you do not have a serious long-term plan to achieve financial independence, you can end up at the end of your work life with not enough money to retire or back off. Today, around 70% of the people are 65 years old have to keep on working because they didn't plan to achieve financial independence earlier in life, and they cannot stop working today without having a serious negative impact on their living standards. So please don't let that happen to you. 6, self-actualization. There's one of those words. This can be the most important one of them all too. This is the feeling that you're becoming all that you're capable of becoming, and that you're realizing your full potential as a person, and you're growing and becoming more and more as months and years pass. It has been said that virtually all negative emotions come a free feeling for frustrated potential. It's when you find yourself in a situation where you're not living to the fullest, stretching your abilities to the maximum, and you're becoming all you can become, and you're feeling negative and unhappy about yourself. So push yourself, get out of that spot. 7, live life your way. You want to reach the point to where you feel completely free to make your own decisions, to go where you want to go, to do what you want to do, to buy what you want to buy. then you must decide exactly what you want and then make plans to achieve it. You must then start working to achieve those goals each and every day. They don't happen by accident. You can't wish them to come true. You need to work on them. This one I love is write down the outputs, the results and the benefits that you want to achieve for your success. Some outputs come from achieving success. First one is increase self-esteem. You feel good and valuable, important in yourself. It means that you like yourself and respect yourself and feel that you're thoroughly a good person. Increase self-respect. You respect yourself for what you have accomplished, and you feel that you're respected and esteemed by the people around you for what you have done with your life, and especially the feeling and opinions of your family and friends. Sense of personal pride. Feel that you have done things that are really worthwhile in your life. You're proud of yourself and what you have accomplished. You truly feel happy with your life and whatever stage you're in. The more you like and respect yourself, the higher your self-esteem will be. As Stuart Smalley says, because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. I mentioned earlier that we're only limited by our own self-beliefs. The great Earl Nightingale stated, your external world is largely a reflection of your internal world. So you become what you think about most of the time. The way we think and feel about ourselves determines everything that we do and say and believe. Our attitude is largely determined by our own expectations. Some people have some rotten attitudes, do they not? We all know that person. I used to know that person until I got him out of my life. Our expectations are based on values and beliefs about reality. We each have our own perception about reality. Have you ever noticed the more positive people have a higher self-concept? It's a bundle of ideas, feelings, and convictions. Everything you've accepted is true throughout your life. You know that person that's so happy so early in the morning. It may drive you nuts, but take a moment and ask them why they're so happy so early in the morning. The answers I've heard have been nothing but amazing. They have the feeling and convictions of positivity that makes them happy. They're proud. They don't care about how you feel about them. They're living large and totally in charge. Believe it or not, our self-concept precedes and predicts our levels of effectiveness and performance in every single thing we do. Our self-concept is very subjective. It's because it's based on our own beliefs. We build a series of mini self-conceptions every part of life and everything we consider important to us. Okay. Now this stat will blow you away. We will always earn within about 10% of our self-concept level of income. So here's my advice to everyone right now. Raise that self-concept of income. In fact, double it. If you can visualize it, triple it. Okay, here comes the psychology stuff. I say that because I didn't do so well in psychology, but it's true, and it's about our self-concept. Now, we all have this idea of the person we want to be, even admire someone else to be like them. That's our self-ideal. We all see and think about ourselves in a certain way. That's our self-image. Our self-esteem is the most important of these three. Think of it as this. It's our energy or our reactor core of our personality. Our self-esteem is defined by how much we like and value ourselves. By just even saying every day, I like myself, will actually increase your self-esteem. Now let's try this. If you can, stand up, stretch it out. You've probably been sitting a lot today. Take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly let it out through your mouth. And then say out loud, I like myself. Try doing that every day. Before driving to work, look in your car mirror and say to yourself, I like myself out loud. This way, no one sees or hears you, and you won't feel too embarrassed if the car next to you sees you talking to yourself. Over time, you will say this throughout the day. Whenever you see a mirror, and I don't care what people think of you, remember, doesn't matter. You should take that look in the mirror and say to yourself, I like myself. Now, you all remember when you were kids, right? We were born fearless. We did a lot of crazy stuff. And I'm not going to say stupid because we are very spontaneous and uninhibited. We had imagination, but over time, we also learned to move from something that was uncomfortable to something that is comfortable. We as kids learned to move from pain to pleasure. We made mistakes. Yeah, we learned many negative habit patterns early in life as a result from the mistakes our parents made. I know this probably only has happened to me, but my parents did make mistakes with regards to emotional and physical punishment. So my butt got tanned a few times, and I will definitely take that over the worst punishment any child can ever experience growing up, and that is love deprivation. Destructive criticisms are one of the most painful things that a child can experience. Many top executives get fired due to destructive criticisms. We learn this negative habit pattern that lasts throughout our whole lives. We have all heard many people that are scared to take any action on something that will improve their lives because of fear of failure. Here we are getting this negative criticism as a child. And then we grow up with these negative habit patterns, the fear of failure and the fear of criticism. No wonder we're scared to take action on ideas and we have these self-limiting beliefs. I'm sure many of you can relate to this, that these negative habit patterns have a physical toll on our bodies. The fear of failure is experienced in the front body with body chest pain, sweating. The fear of rejection is experienced in the back of our bodies by neck pain. Stress is experienced in our shoulders and our neck carrying the weight of the world on them. So all these destructive criticisms lower our self-concept, reduce our performance, and undermine our own effectiveness. Do you know someone that is hypersensitive regarding any criticism? I'm sure we've all felt that when we're getting some evaluations at Toastmasters. It could be due to low self-concept that's causing that reaction. And here's the great news. We can break out of this state of mind. Positive habit patterns can be learned through repetition. You've all heard to master anything, you must do it at least 1,000 times or put in over 1,000 hours. Same goes here as well. To change your self-concept and develop new positive habit patterns and behaviors, you begin by utilizing affirmations. By repeating positive messages, it will move those messages from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind, and that is where the magic happens. Say things that are opposite of negative habit patterns. I can't do it. I can do it versus I can't. I used to teach karate, and the one word you were never, ever allowed to say in that dojo was can't. To us, that meant failure, giving up. We didn't accept failure or giving up. And over time, every time the students heard us say, that is a word we are not allowed to say in here, they started saying, I can do it. They changed their thought. Next thing you know, they could do anything. Say I don't have to versus I have to. There's certain things in life. Do I have to make those calls? Reframe it. If I make those calls, I'd have a better life. I'd have more income, then I can take that vacation. Reframe it. Remember, because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and I'm doggone it, people like me. Now, if there's anything you want in life, find out how others achieved it and then do the same things they did, but with your own personal style and flair. You have the ability within you to be far more in life than you ever thought of before. We've already mentioned that we're not coming close to our maximum true potential. So let's talk about how we can learn what successful people do and what they have done and how we can apply that to our lives to reach the goals that we want. Now, how many of you feel totally in full control of your lives right now? If you don't, then let's get that fixed right now. Your mental well-being and personal power will come from the sense of control. We either have internal locus of control or external locus of control. As you see, control is the key. Our sense of control is determined how we explain things to ourselves. It's that inner dialogue. If we have control over our thoughts, then it will transmit to our feelings and then into our actions. Have you ever had that boss that just blew up for who knows what? They had no internal locus of control. Have you ever seen Michael Jordan take that game-winning shot with pure confidence? He has a strong internal sense of locus and control. He controls his nerves, his emotions. He looked calm and cool and collective in the most tightest of situations. Control begins with the way we think. And you can control your thinking. If you think negative thoughts, then guess what happens? Negative things will happen to you. And then you wonder, why is this all happening to me? If you think positive thoughts, believe it or not, good things will happen to you. And people think you're lucky. Let me touch on luck. So everyone think of a golfer, any golfer. Okay, get them in your head. Even if you hate golf, think of someone famous, a famous golfer like Tiger Woods, Ben Crenshaw, Dustin Johnson, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus. Just picture someone, a golfer that you have in mind, okay? Now they have to make a 30-foot putt. Now, most of us have played at least putt-putt golf, so you guys can stay with me on this one at least. Now the putting green has contours in it. It's rising up on the left and sloping down away from the hole. Okay, does everyone have that thought in your heads? Now put the golfer you thought about standing over the ball and pull the camera back to watch them putt. Then they slowly pull back the club, then abruptly striking at the ball. It's on its way towards the hole. It goes left to the hole, then it curves to the right and then back to the left and into the hole. Was that luck? Now, some luck may be involved, but here's the reality of it. How many times do you think that golfer practiced putts like that on a variety of putting greens in many different situations? How many coaches helped him read the greens? How many helped him develop that stroke, the feel, the touch? How many times do you think that golfer practiced that putt? I'd say more than 1,000 times. Now, playing the lottery and winning, that is luck. People within their own lives that believe that everyone else is lucky and that they're cursed, they're usually unhappy, negative, cynical, and down on themselves, as well as other people. It turns into this feeling of powerlessness, which unfortunately is a root source of crime, violence, poverty, and ill health. This makes you feel helpless inside, that you're unable to change or improve anything in your life. We've all heard or experienced cause and effect. So throwing a rock at a trampoline that's leaning against a wall is a perfect example of this. And for the record, it's not so smart to do. When I woke up, my head hurt quite a bit. Everything happens for a reason. There are reasons for success and there are reasons for failure, whether we realize it or not. All actions have consequences and all the inactions do as well. Ever complain about an elected official, but yet you didn't vote? Our thoughts are the cause in many situations. If you want to change the effect, then change your thought. What you believe with feeling becomes your reality. Our feelings edit incoming data, make us blind to certain inputs. If you believe taking a pill will make you taller and you've been taking this pill for over 10 years, then research comes out proving that that pill that you've been taking actually causes blindness. Your belief about that pill will reject the proven data. Here's an example. A boy of small town. The boy has received straight A's throughout elementary school, junior high, and high school. He took a college entry exam and scored a 98. He was admitted to the university. He thought 98 was his IQ in the first semester. He failed almost every class. When he learned that it was a percentile score, he ended up getting straight A's for the rest of the time he was at school. It was his self-limiting belief that was holding him back from fulfilling his true potential. Ever heard of the placebo pill? Now I want you to think of any goal that you've ever wanted and ask yourself, why am I not already there? You see, most self-limiting beliefs have no basis in reality. They exist only in your imagination. They are your excuses on the outside. It takes courage for you to challenge yourself and deeply push those and use those cherished beliefs and pull them up. As soon as you start changing your beliefs, you begin to change your reality and your performance. Has anyone ever felt like a fortune teller? In that you know the expectations of something or you didn't take an action on it. Oh, that new Coke, I thought of that and they did it. Because you didn't take action on it, someone else did. I'm having a bad day. I know I'm going to spill something on me today. And then what happens? You dump your coffee on yourself. It's because your expectations determine the results, whether they're based on false information or not. Your expectations were negative with no real information behind it, and your subconscious helped you make it a reality. Successful people have an attitude of positive self-expectancy. Start off every day by saying, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. As I've been discussing, just don't say it. You have to believe it with true conviction and belief. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. Those positive, happy people I was telling you about, what do you think they say to themselves every day? Now, here's something that one of my mentors told me about and practiced every day. This guy was widely successful. It seemed like no matter what he touched turned to gold. People were lining up at his business because they wanted to work for him. His secret was a simple known law. It was a law of attraction. It was one of the most important laws that we have in human history. He believed he was a living magnet by sending out positive thoughts and energy, and it's going to attract the people he wants to work with, situations he wants to be in, and opportunities if that it's up to him to choose to take or not to take. This guy was so positive. I never, ever heard him say or even act negatively, even in the worst situations. He was always positive and found positive sayings to change everyone's attitude around him. He once fell off of a ladder 20 feet up, shattered his ankle. He told the story with a smile, thanked the universe that he was still alive, and he said, here's what was messed up. I thought about falling right before it happened. He said he put it out there and it came true. The ladder slipped on the ground and he fell straight down. Now, you can apply some principles in your life to get the results that you're dreaming about. I hope you understand the way we think and feel can be changed and achieve the goals that we want. Change those attitudes. And if you have the understanding on how your inner thoughts affect you and what's holding you back and what you need to change those thoughts, you can have more in your life because you can change the person you are by changing your thoughts. So what are you going to start doing today to achieve your goals that you want, the achievements you want? Start by changing your thinking to pure positivity. Think about how you look, you feel. When you achieve your goals, visualize it. Wow, how does that feel? How do you look? Are you jumping? Are you happy? Wow, does it feel like the world has just, all the weight is gone? Users say positive affirmations with conviction every day and put that thought into that subconscious mind. Successful people think of all the possibilities that they have in front of them, and they have to choose which one they want to take. People without success, they're thinking, woe is me, I have no chance. What's bad things are going to happen to me today? So no more negative self-talk. Commit to today not to be that pessimistic person. And as Monty Python says, always see the bright side of life. And you too will achieve maximum potential and the success and be the leader that you want to be. Thank you very much. Karen?
Oh my goodness, Steve, that was phenomenal. I can definitely see why you have so much success in helping so many people. So we do have a couple of small questions here. So hopefully you can bear with me.
Yep.
Someone wants to know, how can they work on their skills and feel supported more ongoing?
Oh, this one's great. Because I was there. I'm always still there. I'm always working on trying to better myself to advance my knowledge, my skills as well. And what I do is find, once I know what those skills I need or choose to use, I actually go find someone who has mastered it. I started off with just a simple conversation, and it turns into multiple conversations. The person I was telling you that was Mr. Positive, I was attracted to him because of his positivity. I learned more from him by being around him and mastered certain skills of negotiation, leadership, conflict resolution, just by watching and observing and asking him questions. Every week, I would make sure to buy him, he liked Diet Coke, bought him a Diet Coke and picked his brains. He actually helped me develop those skills that I didn't have that he had, and he transferred that knowledge to me. So find someone with those skills, those attributes, and I don't want to make this sound weird, but latch onto them, get them as a mentor, really give them some value too, because you got to think, we all don't know everything. There's something probably that those are the kind of people that are always trying to advance themselves as well. Maybe you bring that to the table, whereas they're bringing to the table what you're lacking and needing. So I always say, seek out that person.
Awesome. Great answer. Here's another one for you, because you was talking about negative individuals, or you've weeded them out. What if they're family members?
Great one. I know that situation, unfortunately, very well. We haven't talked to that family member in probably 2 decades. They bummed us all out, and we had a little talk with them, and they said, listen, this is the way we are. If you don't like it, then you all can go, where. So we agreed, and we parted ways. And the rest of the family has never heard from that person since. No one's batted an eye. It was actually the best thing, because the family dynamic was very positive, supportive, and uplifting. And this individual wanted to make sure to bring us all down. So it is tough, especially if you're living in the same household. This is where a lot of domestic violence and those kind of things start occurring. And you need some help sometimes to break out. And if it is one of those situations, definitely seek out some help, and people are there to help you break out of those scenarios. Yeah, they are tough. Family dynamics, and especially if you're a family member and you're in the business together, it's even harder. That's when you might have to get a mediator in. You need some help from the outside to help break that up, because then it turns into who said what. No one's listening to each other. It's just pure attacks. You need to bring a third party in.
Awesome. Thank you. And let's see now, anything else that we
I
have?
should mention,
I
like
think
on
you did
social
fantastic.
media, you can still be friends with people and not follow them. I did that because a lot of people were very negative in their posts. So I kept them as friends. I don't see any of their feeds. And you know what? They don't know it. And my life is so much better because I only follow people who are very positive, uplifting, and we're all supporting each other.
Oh my gosh. I am not admitting anything, but I may have done that with some family members.
I Yes, I do have two family members, very, very close. We're friends on social media, but I don't see any of their feeds.
Oh my gosh. I will say one of the best things that you said tonight is about finding people who are like-minded, those people that wanted to grow and surrounding yourselves with them. And that is something I truly, honestly believe Toastmasters offers. You find yourself a club, and that club is fun, outgoing, depend on what you want. Some are more business oriented, some are just more fun, laughs and giggles. Some are very driven by a hobby. And you have all these like-minded people that are there for one reason and one reason only, to grow.
Absolutely. I mean, I have had this in my business life. I had a business and every day talk to people also in the same industry. I'd be on the phone 2-3 hours a day, all negative, negative, negative. My business was doing this, just going right down. And then one weekend I woke up and I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I can't. I felt bad. My physical body, and I exercised. I just felt bad. Monday morning, phone rings. It's one of those people. I said, listen, I can't talk anymore. If we can't say have something nice to say and help each other, the conversation's over right now. I had one person tell me where to put it. The others changed their attitudes along with me. I started seeking out people in the industry that were highly successful and called them up and said, how's your day going? They start getting involved. Next thing you know, it raised me up. My business made a major 180 and it started just taking off just because that negativity was bringing it down. And yeah, I totally
Absolutely.
believe in it. I've lived it. I can swear by this one.
Oh my God, I completely understand because I have seen that too in my business as well. You get people who want to complain all the time, and it does take a tank, which is one of the reasons I joined Toastmasters, because I needed people who were looking to themselves. I needed that like-minded mindset, that gumption, that go for it. And I'm going to be totally honest here, Steve, because that's me. I'm just assume as I see it. I was looking into some networking groups for businesses, and they had like $700 a year to be a member with them.
Oh,
Meet once a month, and maybe have 30 seconds of time to talk.
yes.
I went to a couple of those meetings, and it was a lot of complaining, a lot of negativity, and I didn't learn very much. I started going to Toastmasters, which cost me $45 for 6 months. And I could honestly say that every single meeting I walked away from knowing something that I didn't know when I walked in there or got onto that Zoom call. I have made friends with amazing business people, learned so much from them. I have grown so much as an individual, far more than okay, this is me being honest. I paid several $1,000s to a very high profile coach and their team. And I went through several $1,000s of coaching and training with them. I got more in my 6 months with Toastmasters than I did with that team.
See?
More growth, more confidence, more negotiation, evaluation, and business skills than I ever anticipated.
I couldn't agree more. When people say they don't go to TLI or any of these conferences, they're missing a bigger picture. It's not maybe necessarily to hear the contests and the speeches. It's more than that. It's the other individuals that are there. You're going to learn more from them during breaks, coffee. That's the gold. I love going to conferences because I'm always learning something new. And I learn more from the attendees 9 times out of 10 than the person on the stage. I'm getting educated from them, but I'm learning so much more. I'm creating relationships. I'm gaining the knowledge, gaining skills. We become, who knows, joint venture partners. You never know what's going to happen. I couldn't agree more. Going to these kind of things is just gold.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, TLI is our Toastmasters Leader Institute. Toastmasters is far more than just public speaking. It is about developing leadership and skills that you never even thought you had. I never thought you'd see coming, but they sneak up on you and they're right there. So if you are interested in checking out a club, we're meeting on Zoom right now on other internet-based processes. So no worries about any social distancing. You can from the corner of your phone. Go to aztoastmasters.org and you can find a club right there, and we would be happy to welcome you as a guest and potentially a member. And don't forget, if you do join as a member in District 3, which is Arizona Toastmasters, you also get a fun free shirt. So I like to spoil our members. We're definitely all about the loving.
They are nice shirts too.
Yes, they are. And if you have any questions for Steve, I'm pretty sure he can throw his contact information in the chat on how you can get a hold of him for different things like mindset, maybe business or anything like that. And he may be able to invite you to he has a really good club. I love his club. It's so much fun.
Yeah, they're doing something very special this evening. We actually get members from all over the state that come to this one nightly event right around Halloween.
Oh my God. And you came to us. Oh, we're so grateful for you, Steve.
I'm going there next.
I want to thank everyone that joined us live and is joining us on the replay. We are here to help you grow as an individual. Don't forget, Toastmasters are where leaders are made. It is not just about public speaking. It is a whole plethora of skills and growth and potential. And if you want to grow and develop and network, I'm telling you, Toastmasters is the best decision I made. And you will have so much fun, so much. You won't even think you're learning because you're just having a blast. And then oh, I did that. And I wasn't expecting it. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.